Hello and welcome to Flory Models Friday Catch-Up Show. Here we are with you on the 12th of September 2025. Good week this week. Lots going on in the background, I'll be honest with you, with the building work and everything that's going on there. We've got other things going on as well, with the washes and 3D stuff and merch and all those types of things as well. So there's plenty of stuff going on the background. But have got some good hours of work down into the Bronco that we've been working on at the moment. I know it doesn't look particularly like I've done much this week, but actually we've got all the sub-assemblies done. So we've got the tail done and the engine is mounted in now. So those are all done. We've got the side sort of pods with the machine guns fitted into those. We've got those. We've got the tail has been done. The various ones. We've got the wings, got a wing spar. Need to just fix that permanently into position is done. And of course, the big thing is that we've got the cockpit in and weathered. Very happy with that. Come along very, very nicely. So that is done as well. So technically this is just ready to be fitted in now. And then obviously we get the fuselage halves put together. We can get this part stuck on the back down in here as well. Then we can think about getting the wing section on the top and all these different areas to this one. So it's actually, well, hopefully, I'm thinking mid next week, this thing should be starting to come together and we can really start to push on with it. I've still got to do a few things like obviously the pilot figures and the seats and all stuff like that. So we're going to get them in. We are doing it in flight after a lot of soul searching about not using the resin and things like that. Stick to the guns. Always want to do this one in flight. I think it looks really, really nice. It doesn't look like a shopping trolley as it does when it's on the ground. So plan of action is we're going to put it on a nice big stand, one of our Flory model stands, and I'm thinking we're going to go for a slightly jaunty angle over to one side, about 15 degrees and 5 degrees nose down, so it looks like it's in an attack profile and things like that. So yeah, that's the plan for that one. So as I say, a lot of work on this next week. We're also going to be starting on the Lysander next week. Wanted to do it this week. Want to get this one somewhat out of the way though, and I've been sort of delayed quite a bit with other stuff going on this week, but we are starting on the Lysander as well. Straightforward out of the box, as said before. I'm going to get a mast set though for the glass work because I'm not a martyr, and we'll get that one going in next week. So if you want to see a more of a straightforward build, this is going to be the one for you. And also it gives me a little bit of a break because when you're working on something like this, which I have to say isn't as bad as what everyone said, and I had lots of you contact me and said about, oh, be careful at this point, and you know, wing spar, I'll say it needs fixing in properly yet, but I have got a brass rod in there, I totally get, and stuff like that. But some of the other little areas, it's one of those things where I'm quite a methodical builder, as in cleanup. I like parts to be clean and crisp and stuff, and especially with something like, you know, with Bronco, with Kitty Hawk Bronco kit, all of them seem to be a little bit flashy. It's more of one of their earlier kits. And I know people are out saying, well, they didn't get any better. They did. They actually got a little bit better towards the end. But they've got that usual problems with them. So we've got little things, a bit like the locating tabs. Sometimes there isn't any, where it says clearly on instructions there are some. Point of fact, this one here for the lower wings. You've got the pins, but there's no holes for them to go into. But so that's a little bit of a problem. But the other thing as well is that if you notice just little tiny bits of flash around things like locating pins. So obviously on the female side where it's got the hole, it's got a little bit of flash on there. If you scrape that away, it's a nice good fit, no problem at all. But without it, it doesn't go in properly. And then that way you end up with a gap, so forth and so on. And that's the same with any Kitty Hawk kit, I think, right the way through. You know, just make sure you clean up all the parts really well. And to be honest with you, I was talking to Matt this week and we were discussing it. Who did their injection molding? Because as far as we know, I don't recognize the injection molding on this kit compared to the usual Chinese type companies that are all out there. And I'm wondering if that's what it was. You know, they were let down a little bit by ejector pin placement as well. And obviously a lot of that is dictated by the actual tooling process, because obviously you need to get the parts out of the mold. You've got to have so many ejector pins to be able to do that. And sometimes obviously the conversations perhaps between the manufacturer and then obviously the actual end thing with the actual injection molding company, if they don't talk and then move pins and things like that, they tend to be somewhat in the wrong place. And I'm sure that's what's happened on this one. But it's really odd because when you've been doing this as long as I have, you know, best part of 25 years full time, it's one of those areas you tend to see tooling. And you seem to know where that one's from and what sort of, you know, factory it's come from and stuff like that. And then the same with the injection molding, you know where that's come from. So, you know, a lot of you know this anyway, but obviously if you look at certain companies, Chinese companies, they all use the same tooling company. and the same injection molding company. Sometimes they're together, sometimes they're apart, but you can see them in there. So, you know, Meng and Tak and things like that, all right, and border models, those types of things. They all tend to use the same company. But this particular one, I must admit, I don't know. So if anyone knows, comment down below, because I'd love to know where these would be done and all the rest of it. But generally, like I said before, when you're dealing with a kit like this, you just have to take a little bit of a step back from your normal sort of perhaps shake and bake type kits and just make sure all the parts are clean. And if they are, then it makes build work a lot easier. Point in fact, classic example, these gun pods, which are these on the sides, classic one to this. This has had very, very little cleanup at all. But I spent a lot of time cleaning up the parts before they went together. Once they were together, we had no real problems with them, and they went in there very, very nicely. And again, things like the way that these doors fit and all the rest of it, they had little bits of flash in there. And if you just tried to put them in, awful gaps, because it wouldn't seat correctly and push in correctly and all the rest of it. But actually, clean up the parts and it went together very, very nicely. This one over here, and I'm just being honest with you, I didn't spend as much time in the cleanup. That's just simply say like that. And it's bitten me a little bit because you can see how this isn't seating positively just down in here. And down in the back here, I've had to come in and do a little bit of rescribing and a little bit of re-riveting on this one to tidy it up because I didn't spend the time I should have done just making sure the parts are all clean and all the rest of it. But it's typical Kitty Hawk. So little things like this engine, as it fits in here into this actual like tail boom system, look at the instructions. It says, oh, there's pins, line them up. There's no pins. There's nothing to line up with. It just sits there and you're like, how does that fit? So you have to do that thing about, right, put the glue in there, use an idea with this one, Contactia glue, seat it in there, then get all the parts that come with this thing, and you're sort of running around with them saying, right, okay, so that's just put it in there, then we'll fit all of these in to make sure it is lined up in the correct location, all right? And we have done that. So we've been in here and we've gone around and we've worked it out, and yeah, no, it's all okay. It is in there in the right place. But where that actually sits and how it goes can be a little bit of a, somewhat in there. Anyway, I digress. It's one of those kits where just take your time with it, you'll have no problems. And it actually is quite a fun build and all the rest of it. And if you are going down with things like using the res kit, I can highly recommend it. Is a drop-in fit. A lot of companies talk about this drop-in fit. And when you come to do it, you're like, yeah, I won't call that a drop-in fit. Needs a little bit of finicking and a bit of sanding. These literally are just a drop-in fit. And they go in there really, really nicely with no problems at all. So yes, highly recommend that. Anyway, the next part of that went up today. You can see about that in a moment. But again, big target for next week, get this thing together. So that way we can get it over into the spray booth and start to work it on there. And then obviously we can start on the Lysander over here and work our way through. So lots of progress coming on those ones as well. Anyway, this week, really, really good week. Obviously, it's dominated by this little thing with the Wessex, and that's how we started off. So on Tuesday, me and Matt did a special PM show called The Mighty Wessex, and we were discussing it and going through. Admittedly, I should have done my homework a little bit more. It was a little bit of a, last minute type show. So my big one here, you can see over here, we talk about in there. I thought it was an HU5. No, it's not. It's an HC2. So it is exactly the same as the 72nd one. Obviously, that's the big one, the big 32nd one by Fly. But beautiful kit, by the way. It's a handful to put together, but well worth it. But actually, the little Wessex is a gem of a kit. It goes together, looks like really, really well. I've seen a few people who got in contact with me have built this one and said it really does go together nicely. And obviously with the parts and the various things like it. Yes, we can all dream, and I do harp on. I wish it was a 48 scale one, and I can only hope sometime in the future they will come out with one of those as well. Because I think, obviously the Wessex in 48 scale, we are screaming out for a nice, good new tool one of those instead of somewhat of the older ones, which are a bit iffy. So anyway, if you want to see all about this show, me and Matt were talking about it and going right the way through. You can do now. It's just about a half-hour chat about the aircraft, the model kit, the price. The price is great for this thing. Yeah, it's 25 quid full retail. It's not a lot of money for this one, but it's punching well above its weight. Then you can go down and you can see the review. I've done the full review of it as well. It is up now on YouTube as well. Obviously, we're looking through the instructions, which are, again, just really, really good. These are instructions which I think are brilliant for the novice or, the new person coming into the hobby, because they're really easy and straightforward to follow. Very good details of showing it in each step, as you can see right the way through here in the instructions. And if you're the pro alike, nice options down in here as well. I love the Uruguayan one. Again, just something a little bit different. That's the whole point to it. So very, very nice down in there, and a couple of other ones. The decals are cartographed, so they're beautiful, no problem at all. But actually, the surface detail and everything on this one, and I know I sound like now an Airfix fanboy and all stuff like that, but sometimes you do have to appreciate a good model when you see one. And I'm appreciating a good model. I think the level of detail and all the stuff that's in here for something that is 72nd scale, but you know, again, you're just spoiled with the amount of detail that's in this one. All right, very, very nice. I think Airfix have done a really good job. And again, we've got it up on the PM site for like 21 quid. So, you know, for something that's just over 20 quid, it's well worth getting this one kit. Even if you're not a helicopter fan, I think it is great. And obviously the beautiful thing about this kit, it's got the actual rotofold set that is there. And it's just a simple fit to get that one to go in there as well. The clear parts are beautifully done. I am aware, clearly, and it is mentioned in the shows, that there has been a little bit of an issue with it. I don't know how many it is affecting, but I've had many people reach out to me, and you've got molds, short shots, cloudiness in the clear parts especially, and apparently there's a couple of things on kit parts as well. I had a few broken parts and things like that, but generally though, I have to say Airfix are brilliant. As long as the kit's available, you will get replacement parts, so just give them a bit of a poke and get some parts out to you and you'll be absolutely fine. Anyway, it is a very, very good kit. I can't wait to build it. Hopefully Matt's going to get one. We're going to do a little bit of a buddy build with this one. Because I'm itching actually to build it, so it'd be really nice to see it. Anyway, you can go off, see the review. You can see me and Matt's chat about it now. That is up there, both of them free to watch. You can catch up with them right now. All right, so pretty good with all of those ones. The other thing as well, obviously on Wednesday I had my assistant's dog with me. Yes, I had Ambertown with me, who was beautiful for like 3.5 hours, and then as soon as I put the camera on to do the actual vlog, yes, she wakes up and wants to have a chat about it. Anyway, this particular show, we were talking about obviously everything that's going on at the moment. As you might imagine, it is that type of vlog right the way through and everything. All right, so members, if you want to catch up with that one, you can do. It's up there right now. Last night we had a live show. It was me, Matt, and Nathan, who's been away for a good month now or so. He's been traveling around Scotland and things. So we had a good catch up. We were talking about classic kits. And what is the appeal of classic kits to the point of view where they're really gaining momentum these days? I know we've got these fantastic new tool kits coming out, but there's something about old problematic kits that people love to watch them being done and see them and talk about them, and you know, obviously stuff like that. And we were talking about the nostalgia factor, doing old kits, doing them justice now when you couldn't do it so well when you were 10 years old and wanted to set fire to it by the afternoon, and things like that. So anyway, good old chat. And then obviously we're doing all your questions and feedback and everything else. Went on a bit. I think it's almost 2 hours last night. We went over slightly as well. So yeah, 1 hour 55 on that one. So members, if you want to go off and see that one, you can do now. We were talking about pretty much everything on that show as always. Anyway, that brings you bang up to date today. So we've actually got part 3 of the Bronco is up with you. So basically we got the cockpit installed and put in, and all the rest of it coming together really, really nicely, no problem. All the photo etches in, dried in place and things like that to sort of give it that slight upgrade. Then we came in with an oil wash. This is really to calm down. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know why, but Edard's grey colour is never the same colour as my cockpit, no matter what I tend to do. So I always do my standard sort of light gold grey cockpits. And then obviously we've put in here a colour Edard set into this one. And then what we're going to do is change it. So one of those ways to do it is give it an oil wash. So we give everything a good, nice, quite a thick oil wash right the way over. Then we let it dry. And when it dries down, as you can see, it fades that down just a little bit as well. So it gives everything a little bit of grime and a little bit of, you know, sort of puts everything in there. All right, so that was good. Whilst that was drying off, we were then looking at the wing spars, talking about that, how we're going to go about that one. We're working on obviously making that as seamless as possible, like everything, which is a little bit of a thing. Then we worked on those gun bays, those gun packs on the side of the fuselage, again putting those together. Then we looked at the engines, sorting out the engines and stuff, and then by then it had all dried, the oil wash had dried, so we could go in and we did some dry brushing with some light grey right the way through on this one. And again, just to wear and tear everything right the way in. And again, worked an absolute charm, exactly what we wanted it to do. So that was good. Then obviously we're looking at the wing section again. Then we put the engines together. And again, we're not going to be seeing the engine, so we're not too worried about those ones in there. So really, it's the last of all the parts coming together. There will be a few moments left on the other one where, as I said before, I've got all the parts now, so we'll show it all going together next week. So part 4 will really be this thing all coming together. And then once we've got it together, as I said, we can think about getting it in the bay and stuff like that. But I think we've pretty much got rid of all the problem areas now, and fits and stuff like that. So we've got the wing spar to go on, system to go in there. Hopefully that'll be a nice fit, and then we can really start to push on with it and get going with that one and bring other models online as we go. Other things as well going on at the moment. Obviously, we've got full stock and everything. I said before, if you're in the US, we cannot ship to the USA purely because I can't work out the tariffs for all the different bits that are going over to you, because obviously some of it comes from that we do comes from China, other bits obviously from the UK, other things of the areas around Europe, and it's just an absolute paperwork bureaucratic nightmare. So at the moment, I'm not doing it. So High Altitude Hobbies in the US, they're your people. We can ship anywhere else on the planet apart from the US at the moment. All right, okay, North Korea is a stretch, but everywhere else is fair game. All right, so if you do want to get it, you can get it from in the US. Go over to High Altitude Hobbies. They've got a restock on their way now. They've got another restock going out next week as well. So hopefully they'll have everything for you. Don't forget, if you are in the EU or Europe, just save yourself a load of hassle and time and go to the Flory Models Europe store. So again, if you pop into there over at Riveco Modelling, they've got all our washes and everything we do as well. So they've got all the jigs and anything you can see down in here, they've got, plus the fact they carry the full range of DSP stuff as well. So if you want to get any of the stuff I've got down in here and a ton more, you can get it from them as well. So just pop over to them and they will sort you out, no problem at all. Last up, PM Models. Has had a huge big load of Edard in. So we've got a special section for Edard all on sale. We've got modern stuff and obviously some of the older classic kits as well, all on special offer at the moment. So if you want to grab any of those ones, some really nice stuff down in there. Got these 72nd ones down in there for just 12 quid. Some very, very nice offers as well. And we got the bigger stuff, the 48 stuff as well. So again, we've got a ton of Edard in there on special. So if you want to grab any of those ones, you can do. They're there right now. Just head over to the pmmodelsuk.com store and you can get any of those. Plus the fact we've got your usual bits and pieces as well. So we've got the Wessexes up here. We said they're just £22. Beautiful price as well. We've got the gift set for the Saturn V, which is obviously more of a classic kit. We've got the brand new Artemis as well, and it's a gift set version of it as well, from the Rocket Brigade. And obviously we've got the big 24th scale Spitfire as well. We've got the beer keg one. So you've got all of those and all the other FX kits you can see down in here, and plus lots more on special. So if you want to get any of these as well, they are up there. And don't forget, as always, we've got all your paints, glues and sundries. We've got various things coming in for restocks and various things day and day. So keep an eye out, and obviously you'll see all the usual favourites and stuff coming into stock just like that. Couple of dates for your diary coming up very, very soon. Flory Fest 25. Yes, here we go again. So basically it's going to run from Thursday to Sunday, and it's our sort of, Friday to Sunday, and it's going to be Flory Fest on that one as well. So that's going to be on the Saturday, the 27th, and obviously on the 28th of September. We're having a special show on Friday as well. So if you want to get involved with that one, we'll be doing the same as we do every year. So we'll be down here, we'll be doing specials, we're doing demos, little videos, things like that, right the way through as well. So a little bit of fun and games with that one. Obviously, we're doing great deals on Flory Models products. PM Models have a giant sale as well. I'm sure the others will join in with that with various companies as well. So got that one coming up. We had a bit of a trouble because obviously with the building work going on and stuff like that, but we finalised the date on that one. So it's going to be really the 26th for an evening type show as well, and then 27th and 28th as well. So we've got those coming through of September. And the big one for Turkey Shoot 25, that's on the 27th through to the 30th. So Thursday night we'll do a live show, and then right the way through till Sunday as always with that one for the Turkey Shoot. Usual fun and games. We'll be building something. The whole point of that show is a little bit different. We try and build something in that timeline right the way through. Just a little bit of fun. And again, we'll have specials and promos and giveaways and all the usual things that go on for that. But that's 2 dates for your diary. So really 27th and 28th of September, and then obviously the 27th to the 30th of November as well for the Turkey Shoot. All right, so they're your dates for your diaries. Anyway, big thing happened obviously last month. We had the final days of the actual Jungle SIG amazing work through on that one, and I've done the reveal for you video right now. So till next week, everybody, happy modeling, take care, and here's the Jungle group build reveal.